6 weeks is like this magic number of it's the only time you're sitting home with no help support on how to heal or recover. And then at 6 weeks, you're magically better and you can start doing everything you were doing before you gave birth. It took you 9 to 10 months to give birth to this baby or to grow this baby. It took you however many hours to give birth to this baby. And now at 6 weeks, you're just magically better and you're ready to go do anything that you did before. Oh my goodness, this is such a huge gap in healthcare, and I see so many moms make this mistake. I
You are listening to Belly Birth Beyond with Pelvic Floor Mama, hosted by Becca Boving, a PTA, mom of two, and now your go-to pelvic floor coach. Welcome to the safe space where no topics of motherhood are off limits and judgment is left at the door. Too many mamas are dismissed when they've got valid concerns. If you're sick of hearing that's normal when it feels otherwise, keep listening.
know somebody personally who, at her 6-week clearance, after a C-section, was cleared, quote unquote, cleared. And she went and played volleyball later that night. I can't even imagine what her body was going through or what her body felt like with that. There are some things that you can do before 6 weeks. Every mom should be given this. In fact, I am going to actually practice what I preach, or not practice what I preach, but like put into motion what I preach and put together like a pamphlet to go give to like hospitals in our general area that moms postpartum can be given this. And these are things that you can start doing 1 to 2 weeks after birth. In fact, you can just start breathing right after you give birth, right after, like while you're in the hospital. You can start reconnecting with your body by just simply breathing. This little act makes a huge difference in your recovery. Like, I can't even express how helpful this is. During those 6 weeks, yes, your body is trying to heal and stuff, but it's just not magically better at 6 weeks. You're not just magically strong again. Like, your hormones aren't balanced out. You're like, everything is still shifting and changing. So what you can do to help make those 6 weeks easier for you, and what you can do that will help your long-term recovery easier and better with, like, if you've ever had moms or maybe yourself, like where you're peeing when you cough, sneeze, laugh, jump, run. It doesn't have to be like this. There's things you can do during those first 6 weeks that can help with this. If you've had like the back, hip, pelvic, pubic pain, a lot of things you can do after you give birth to help with this. And it just starts with simply breathing. So think about it. You just gave birth to this baby. Your body, all your organs are now trying to find their new normal because they moved out of the way so your baby can fit. Now their baby's not there. So everything is shifting and moving and changing. Your hormones are all over the place as well. I'd love to get a hormone expert on here and talk about what your hormones are doing postpartum and what you can do to support that too. Your body is like trying to figure out what is your new normal. What is happening? And so by simply just reconnecting with your body with some breathing, I mean, like, inhale, let your chest and your rib cage and your belly, let it all rise and expand, and then exhale and let it come back to like a neutral position. You're not pulling in or sucking in or anything like that. Just gentle. Okay. And then once you have that down and you're able to do a bit more, engaging your core, teaching your core like how to work again. Breathing out, engaging your core, supporting that, protecting your body. This is going to significantly help your pelvic floor because your pelvic floor makes up the bottom of your core. And so they work together. So when your core is compromised or weak or not as strong, all that pressure goes onto your pelvic floor. And your pelvic floor acts as like a hammock to your bladder, bowel, and uterus. So it's helping to support everything and hold it up. So if everything's like pushing down into your pelvic floor, that's a lot of responsibility for it. And so breathing, engage your core and your pelvic floor. These can help support you in those early days. Think about it. Those early days, you're not just completely laying flat doing absolutely nothing. You're still getting up, using the bathroom. You're still carrying your baby, maybe picking up a diaper bag, a car seat. Maybe you have to go up and down the stairs. Maybe you're lifting something up from the ground. Like I said, we talked about like car seat, diaper bag, anything like that. How can you support yourself doing these things that you already do? That's all it is. I'm not saying you have to go out and do like this 30-minute routine. I just mean learning how to support yourself through those early days with these simple things is going to help your recovery, because what happens during that early time is your body's adjusting and you also have gravity. So if you're standing up and doing all these things and your pelvic floor is not able to support it, a lot of things start to fall. And that's where you get prolapse. That's where you can have like your bladder, bowel, or uterus start to fall into the vaginal canal. I don't say this to scare you, but that's what prolapse is. Okay. And it can be helped. Sometimes it can be avoided. And if you do have prolapse, it's not that you did anything wrong. I don't want you to be like, "Oh my gosh, I didn't do any of these things. It's all my fault." No, you did not do anything wrong. There's just not enough help and support for moms before pregnancy, during, after. Like, there's this huge gap in like pelvic floor and education and understanding of how important it really is and what it really is. It's not just doing Kegels. So learning how to support yourself throughout those daily activities in those first 6 weeks makes a big difference. Just waiting 6 weeks makes it so challenging for you. And then when you get to 6 weeks, it's like, cool, I'll just go back to my workout. We'll be good, right? But then how humbled are you if you start to try to do a core exercise or a movement? Like, you feel so weak and shaky and it feels like you can't do it right. So if you go back to these basics of like just supporting your body by the basics of your pelvic floor, and then you can build on that, it makes your recovery so much easier. It makes you getting back into workouts or movement so much easier. And now that might not even be on your radar. You're probably sitting here like, yeah, I have no intention of working out. And when would I have time? When I would have the energy? Like, it can be really challenging. But how does your body feel at the end of your day? If you're baby wearing, how does your body feel? Do you feel heaviness below? Do you feel like your back is going to give out on you? Do you feel like your pelvis is still being pulled? Do you still have some leaking or some inability to control your bladder, or you don't have as much sensation when your bladder's full? You don't know when to use the bathroom. All of those things can be like, we can help right now. Just gently learning how to support yourself before the 6 week mark comes. And like I said, it's not doing workouts or anything like that. Just reconnecting with your body, doing some breathing, some core, pelvic floor. Notice how I don't use Kegels? If you've been around here, you're like, yes, Becca, we hear all the time. You don't say the term Kegels except when you tell us not to say it. Okay? We're not using that. It's not just Kegels. There's so many other things that are so important to be able to do to be able to help support you throughout this. This is the biggest reason why I created Postpartum Mama Recovery Reset, was because there's this gap between I had my baby and now I'm ready to work out. So 1 to 2 weeks postpartum, and a lot of moms are fearful to start this 1 to 2 weeks postpartum because it's been ingrained in us to do nothing for 6 weeks. And I get it. So some moms don't start till they're 6, 12, 14, 15, 16, beyond weeks postpartum. And then they're like, gosh, Becca, why didn't I do this sooner? I wish I started this sooner. I would have felt so much better. And it kind of connects. So here's me telling you, the Postpartum Mama Recovery Reset is like, it starts with like 5 to 7 minutes, 4 times a day. And it's just a video. You hit play. You can have your baby on your chest the whole time. You can have your baby doing tummy time next to you. You can it's something that's doable and practical for moms. And all it is reconnecting with your body and getting back those basics of your pelvic floor. And then slowly progressing to being able to do a little bit more and feeling a little bit stronger and a little more comfortable in your body. So that way we can avoid the leaking, the back pain, the hip pain, the pelvic pain, all those types of things that we don't have to have. I hate the 6 weeks rule. It's like you go to your appointment, it's like, oh, you're 6 weeks, here's birth control and best of luck. Like, what? You deserve better than that. You deserve to have the support answers. So there's a lot of resources that I've tried to put together for moms like you. So during that postpartum time, you can have the help and the support that you need. Like I said, postpartum, I'm going to link everything below. Postpartum Mama Recovery Reset is great. It's included in the postpartum package. So if you're like, this is my last baby, I'm never doing this again, grab the postpartum package. Okay. This has all the education and help and support throughout postpartum, and then also the recovery programs. It has 6 weeks to reclaim your core. So after you finish the Postpartum Mama Recovery Reset, you join the 6 weeks to reclaim your core. You get your core really strong. Not just like cores and abs, but like your core, your pelvic floor, your glutes, your hips, all the things that help support you all day long. So that way you don't have as much pain. If you're like, I might have another baby, grab the Ultimate Mama Bundle and get the Postpartum Mama Recovery Reset with it. Add that on. And that'll help support you. That gives you what you need. Okay. I'm going to link everything down below. Just know it doesn't have to be this way. And if you're sitting here and you're like, I'm past 6 weeks, it's not too late for you. I work with moms all the time, from 3 months postpartum to 5 years postpartum so far and beyond. In the clinic, I do beyond, work with way, way longer, way past that. But a lot of those things that I see from moms in the clinic after they have babies are like 1, 2, 3 years postpartum. And it's all things that could have been helped during those early days, weeks postpartum. And then you wouldn't have to struggle and try to find the time and the energy and go through all the guessing of what's going on and how can it help you. It doesn't have to be like this. It's not more appointments postpartum either. I know how hard it is. I did pelvic floor physical therapy myself with my second baby at like 2 or 3 weeks, and it was an hour away. And taking her and going and having the appointment, like, it's hard. So having something virtually and in your home can really help you. But if you're preparing for postpartum or you're currently in those early 6 weeks, start with some breathing. Start engaging your core. Start learning how to connect with your pelvic floor. Engage it, but relax it. Try to relax it. Some pelvic tilts, some open books, some gentle mobility. Like, I have videos on my page. There's a YouTube channel. Things that you can help do to help feel a little bit more like yourself and a little bit stronger. Okay? You've got this. You're not alone. You don't have to do this alone. I want to help you every step of the way. You deserve to feel like your best self. I want you to feel like your best self. I want you to feel strong and comfortable and confident in your body. That's hard to do as a woman. That's hard to do as a mom. I'm sending you love.
Nothing is TMI when it comes to motherhood, and common doesn't necessarily mean normal. Always trust your gut and never stop advocating for the care you deserve. If you enjoyed this podcast, help it reach more mamas like you by subscribing and leaving a review on your preferred listening platform. Keep in touch with me on Instagram by following Pelvic Floor Mama. See you next time.